Okay, problem 5. Problem 5 is a proportionality problem, like we did at the beginning of the year. So, a little bit of review, but it shouldn't be too hard. So remember, for this one, we have a table. We want to use it to fill or answer in these last 5 questions. So remember, when we have questions that are question 5 with parts A, B, C, D, and E, you answer parts A, B, C, D, and E. You don't select one like it's multiple choice. It's an answer. You need to answer the question. So we need the constant of proportionality K, which is equal to y divided by x. Let's go ahead and do this for a few of the y values. For the most part, you should be given a table that works out, but I would always check because you never know if I decide to do something funny, like make it not proportional, but I'm going to make sure it's proportional for the most part. So let's just do it for each one. Our first one, we have 0.75 divided by 3. I can tell you right away that's going to be 0.25, or about a fourth. And for the next one, 2.25 divided by 9. Same thing, 0.25, or about a fourth. It will be that way for each of these. Are you expected to show this much work? Not necessarily, but it would be nice for you to show it at least once so I know what you're doing. 3 over 12, it's also 0.25, or 1/4. Do it again. So we get 3.75 over 15, which is also about 0.25, or 1/4. And the last one. So K is equal to, in this case, 5/20, or 0.25, or 1/4. So either of these will work. This is your answer for A. Next, B. B is where I see a lot of students making mistakes. So we have K is equal to 1/4, or I'll write it this way, K is equal to 0.25. At this point, you need to use this equation, that y is equal to kx. And you should only fill in k. If you put an x and y, like I see some people do, where they do something like this, so you get 5 is equal to k times 20. That's wrong. I don't need you to reiterate this. We just did that here. Let's go ahead and keep it simple, and we just fill in. So we just put in for k. So if I do it in pink, I get y is equal to 1/4 x. If I do it in white, I'll put in the decimal value. I get y is equal to 0.25x. That's all you need to do. One of these two. And that will be your answer. Nothing else. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to plug in any other numbers. It's just put k into the equation and stop there. Now C. So I'll do C twice. C and C. So we know what B is now. So Y, or not B, we know what X is. We know what X is. X is 40. So get Y is equal to 1/4 of 40. 1/4 of 40 is 10. So Y is equal to 10. And we can do it on the other side too. Y is equal to 0.25 times 40. Y is equal to 10. And let's do D. Same way. Y is equal to 1/4 x. But of course, I did that wrong because y is now 40. So we have 40. So remember, you're plugging into whichever variable you've been given 44. So in this case, the first case, I plugged into x. That's why I have 40 where the x used to be. Now the 40 is going to be where the y used to be, right? So 40 is equal to 1/4. Actually, let me do this. So I get this. Y is equal to 1/4 x. Then y is now 40, equal to 1/4 x. If you're multiplying by a fraction, you multiply by its inverse. So I multiply by 4/1. Just flip the fraction around. 4/1. 1/4 times 4/1. Those go away. I'm left with x. I don't care about the bottom, so he can go away. I'm left with 4 times 40, which is 160. Or, if you prefer, y is equal to 0.25x. Y is 40. Go to 0.25x. Divide both sides by 0.25. Guess what you get? X is equal to 40. Or not 40. X is equal to 160. Okay. I think I need to slow down a little bit. That's why I'm making mistakes now. Okay. E. If the constant of proportionality is a scale factor between x and y, write the equation for the area. Okay. E. If the constant of proportionality is a scale factor between x and y, you write an equation for the area. So all we're going to do is this. We're going to do it twice. So E. K is equal to 1/4. If you remember for the area, so we did this lesson before, we're basically being told this. Let's pick 20 and 5. So I have a shape. Let's just call it a rectangle. He has that side length of 20, and he's coming over here to come a side length of 5, and we'll just say it's a square. So 20 by 20 into a 5 by 5. So to go from 20 to 5, I multiplied by 1/4, right? So I want to find the area. So we'll call this area P, and this one A. Well, P is equal to 20 times 20, or 400. A is equal to 5 times 5, or 25, yep. And don't forget, this is also the same thing as 0.25, right? We want to figure out what this guy is. So this guy is going to be x. Okay, so, well, we know then that that A needs to be equal to x times P. Okay, slow down. There we go. Okay, let's figure it out. So P is 400. So I get 400 x is equal to 25. Let's divide both sides by 400. Since it's what's multiplying x. X is equal to 25 over 400, or what could be written as 25 divided by 400, about 1/16. So if I divide both by 25, I get 1/16. And 1/16 is the same as 0.0625. The easier way to remember this is like this, that your new area is equal to k squared times p. Where in this case, k was 1/4, or 0.25. And if we plug those in, 1/4 squared is 1/16. And if we do it again, 0.25, write it in white so you know what I'm talking about. 0.25 squared is equal to 0.0625. Same answers. So all you need to do then is remember this formula and how to square things, and this is an easy problem where A is equal to either 1/16 p or A is equal to 0.0625 p. Those are your two answers. And that's everything. So you have one proportionality problem with about 5 parts. Not too hard. The worst part for you will probably be E. And even still, if you just remember what I'm going to highlight now in red, or not red, orange, brown. So we'll say take note of this fact. So I'd really remember this. Oops. Because that's the biggest and most important part here. If you remember that, you'll cut down on a whole lot of work. You don't have to do all of this extra stuff. If we go back, I'm just going to go over the other stuff. So for percent error is really supposed to be the easiest part here. You'll probably get a problem that's like the first one and not the second one, but expect that you might get the second one. Mixture problems, if you follow the chart and you know how to solve equations, this shouldn't be hard, especially if you end up getting, either of these last two and not something like the first one, but I'm probably going to give you the first one. Let's be honest. And then the probability trees. Probability trees, you're probably going to get something like the last one where I'll give you coin flips mostly. So you'll have coin flip, coin flip, coin flip. And then you'll be asked to find certain information about them. The only other thing is, like, if I do give you this, it's going to be probably on the multiple choice section, and you'll just have to follow the chart. And the last one, the inequalities. Inequalities, I'll probably give you ones like the last two, mostly because we didn't really cover how to do things like the first two, but they're not bad. You just need to think a little bit outside the box. If I were you, I would make sure I write down definitions like, for example, I'll write this off to the side. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. Yeah, fix that a little bit. That would be very good to remember. So remember, you are allowed a cheat sheet. One page front and back. I don't really care. But the point is, make sure you use it. You'll turn it into me after the test. Everyone's entitled to one and a calculator. So, though these, if I was smart, I would make it so you don't need a calculator, but I'm not going to bother with that. Anyway, good luck. See you on Tuesday. Hopefully you actually bother to watch these. Okay. Good luck.